Arda Güler gained 8 kilograms of muscle in 8 months to stay at Real Madrid. In this video, we are gonna tell you about the Turkish talent's fantastic transformation to fulfill his dream. How he trains, where he lives, what kind of car he drives, and whether he has a girlfriend. So subscribe to us and let's get started! In the summer, Real Madrid won a big fight with Barcelona to sign Arda Güler. The way the Blancos wanted to see the Turkish talent in their squad made it clear that they were banking on the guy at the Santiago Bernabeu. However, the start of his career in Spain did not turn out to be as sweet as one might have hoped. Before the start of the season, the Turk suffered a meniscus injury and had to miss nearly 2 months. Just when it seemed that Güler was about to return and make his debut for his dream club, he suffered another injury, this time a muscle one. This injury will put him out of action for another month, but he will feel the consequences of 2 different injuries until the new year. In some mediocre club, this situation would have been perceived as an unfortunate coincidence, but Real Madrid don't work like that. They immediately started asking questions and looking for answers. Why did a player who had never had problems with his knees or muscles before suddenly suffer 2 such injuries in a row? What has changed for him compared to Fenerbahce? What can be done to prevent setbacks and knee injuries? How do you develop a player in the right way to avoid harming him? The Madrid club had to solve all these problems and approach them with great responsibility. The first right decision was to let the player recover in peace and not to force his return to the first team. It became quite obvious to the coaching staff that the physical loads in Real Madrid and Fenerbahce are very different. The young player had never before experienced such a strain on his young body, and this could well have caused injuries. Therefore, Arda was not only allowed to recover normally, but also provided with all the time he needed to adapt to the new demands. The second decision was a logical continuation of the first. Güler had to gain muscle mass to prevent new injuries and be able to compete with adult men. Here, the legendary fitness coach Antonio Pintus, whose brilliant work has helped Real Madrid win multiple Champions League titles, took charge of the player. Zinedine Zidane singled out this coach as one of the keys to his successful period at the club, so Arda fell into good hands. When the Turk arrived at the Bernabeu, he weighed 62 kilograms. In 9 months of training, the midfielder was able to gain 8 kilograms of pure muscle and now weighed 70 kilos. For comparison, this is how he looked when he first joined Real Madrid, and this is how he looks now. Talk about progress! Antonio Pintus knows what he's doing. Like this video if you're impressed with Arda's progress. There is a joke on the internet that when a player gets to this coach, his routine starts looking something like this. We said that Arda made such progress in the 9 months he has been at the club, but it's worth noting that he gained most of his muscle mass in recent months, when he fully recovered from his injuries. That's because recovery imposes restrictions on gym activities. From this point of view, the player's progress is even more impressive, all in order to fulfill his dream of becoming a key player for Real Madrid in the future. It's also worth noting that although it's visually striking that Arda has become bigger in the shoulders and developed arm muscles, the focus was actually on the legs. We remember that the #1 objective is to make sure that the player gets fewer injuries. Without further ado, here's a photo of Güler's leg at the start of the season and now. You will agree that the progress is quite evident. In addition to working out in the gym, Arda focuses on proper nutrition. Although this is not a big deal nowadays, there's an interesting fact that a personal nutritionist is always with a player. Having such a specialist by his side was almost the first thing Güler took care of when he joined Real Madrid. At the moment, Real Madrid are focused on the gradual development of a player and are in no hurry to throw him into action so that he does not get another injury. The reason why Arda plays very little is not only in the big competition, but also in the club's long-term planning. At the moment, Güler has 7 matches for Real Madrid, of which he started only once. Usually, the midfielder gets only a few minutes on the pitch. An interesting fact, in 2 matches for the Turkish national team, Arda played 107 minutes, while for the entire season for Real Madrid, he has played 98 minutes. Nevertheless, recently in the match against Celta, Güler scored his first goal for Blancos, which only confirms the accuracy of the club's strategy for the player. Take your time and protect your diamond. Moreover, there is no need to rush. Real Madrid are doing great in the league. I'm very happy to be at Real Madrid. It's the best club in the world, and although it's difficult, I believe I have the quality and character to overcome it. It's been a difficult season so far, but I hope better things come after this goal. Güler shared his feelings. Given the way the season is going, the best plan for Arda is to improve his physical condition to the best possible, which could mean gaining another 2 to 3 kilos of muscle mass. The next step will be to get game practice, and this is where a one-season loan looks like the best option. If you consider the competition in the attacking line, where there is currently Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Diaz, who will be joined by Endrick and most likely Mbappe in the summer, Arda is unlikely to have much playing time at Real Madrid. Of course, if he stays, he will definitely get some minutes, but after an injury-riddled season, there is no better option than to get regular playing time in the starting lineup. Moreover, far from the worst clubs are interested in the Turk. In recent months alone, Milan, Sevilla, Real Sociedad and others have shown interest in Arda. That is, the midfielder will easily be able to choose a club of the European competition level, and it can even be a team that plays in the Champions League. You must admit, it's a great option. And now let's take a look at the other side of Arda's life, because a transfer to Real Madrid is not only about football, but also about adapting to a new city, a new culture and environment. The first thing to note is that Arda uses a car that was given to him by the club. Real Madrid is now in partnership with BMW, and before the start of the season, the player received his BMW XM. This is a partially electric car model which, despite the fact that it also has a gas tank, is labeled as a zero-emission vehicle. An eco-friendly, efficient car is a perfect option for a young footballer. It's a good sign that after getting a big contract, Arda didn't want to spend money on an expensive luxury car, as some other players do. The price of such a BMW starts at 150,000 euros. By the way, Jude Bellingham chose the same model. Another question that interests the player's fans is whether he has a girlfriend. Well, although Arda hasn't officially announced anything, he does have a girlfriend. Meet Duru Naiman. She is 18 years old and, like Güler, an athlete. Duru plays for the Galatasaray basketball team. The girl has been spotted with Arda on several occasions, so there is no reason to doubt that they are a couple. She also attended the presentation of the midfielder as a Real Madrid player. There is not much information about where Arda lives in Madrid. More precisely, we can say that Güler has not yet been able to choose the best place for himself. The Turkish outlet Haber Global writes that the player has already changed 3 homes in 9 months in the Spanish capital. Considering how important it is to have a well-established routine to focus on football, this is another reason why the first season is so difficult for the player. In short, Arda's adaptation in Spain is still ongoing, and we can safely say only one thing: the most exciting times for the Turkish prodigy are ahead. And that's great! Friends, write in the comments whether you believe that Arda will become a key player for Real Madrid in the future, and if you were him, which club you would go on loan to next season. Be sure to check out other videos, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye!